guys, welcome back to Alisha Nicole TV. So today's video is going to be a little bit different than my past videos because it's more personal than the other ones. So one of the things I've really been wanting to do in 2017 is to add more of me into my content, add more of my story and my journey as an entrepreneur into my content as well. I love giving advice, I love consuming advice, but you would be amazed at what you can learn simply from listening to someone else's journey. And not to be like narcissistic or anything crazy like that, I don't want it to be all about me, but I hope by sharing my journey, sharing my struggles, not only shows you that I'm an actual human being, I'm not perfect, you know, I mess up all the time, but I'm also hoping that it kind of makes you feel like you're not alone in this. So we all go through transitions, we all make mistakes, we all succeed at some point in our lives. So I'm hoping that we can really just take each other on this ride together. So as you can see, I'm writing a book. If you missed today's title, I am writing a book, and it's my second book actually. So my first book was called The Blogpreneur, which was basically like a guide that took creatives through step-by-step of how to turn their blog into a creative business or into a profitable business. So it was super like in my niche. You know, I've been talking to, you know, coaching clients. I've been creating content on my blog for the longest around this topic. So that book came easy to me. The process wasn't easy, but it felt good to me. It felt natural to me because it was in my comfort zone. But this new book isn't. This new book is so far out of my comfort zone that it literally terrifies me. And I'm going to tell you more about it. Trust me, this won't be the only video on it. But it all came to be about a year ago almost. I started to feel really stagnant in my brand. So for the past few years, I've been coaching creative women, helping them just gain clarity, helping them, you know, figure out the processes and steps they needed to take to, you know, turn their passion into a profitable business. But I started to feel really stagnant and almost kind of bored about a year ago. And I know for me, for someone who has owned businesses in the past, for someone who has done so many crazy changes like within herself and also her brand as well, I know once I get into that mood that things needed to be shaken up, and that it also meant for me that I am pretty much getting ready to go into a new season. So when I sold jewelry, you know, I felt the same way, but I knew that I was going into a new season of blogging. And then I was just blogging. I knew I was going into a new season of adding in coaching services and being more intentional about my content. So when I started to feel this way, it wasn't like a bad thing. So I definitely still love talking about business. Trust me, that's not going anywhere. I will still keep talking about helping you build your brand and creating a profitable business. But I knew that I needed to do more. So I began praying about it, of course, and just asking God for clarity. And I kept feeling like I was being pushed to find different ways to impact the lives of women outside of just building a brand. I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it, but that's just what I kept feeling nudged to do. Like every time I would sit down and think about, okay, where is my brand going next? I kept feeling pushed to inspire women or motivate women or, you know, help them on a greater level than just helping them build their blog or build their brand, even though that was something that I absolutely love to do. So I kept praying about it, still asking God for clarity, still, you know, asking like, what in the world am I supposed to do? Like, this is my bread and butter. I just can't stop coaching. I just can't stop creating products. Like, Lord, like, what path are you leading me in now? Because where I feel like I am now isn't where I feel like I should be at the moment, but I still don't see an end goal in sight. So it was like I was playing in limbo a little bit. So I kept praying about it. And I remember walking through Barnes & Noble last April and getting the idea, and it was like, you know how people say they get like the light bulb moment? This was like something I can't even explain. It was bigger than like a light bulb moment, but it was like, you're gonna write a book. So I'm like, okay, God, thank you. what is it going to be about? So thank you for the idea of writing a book, but you know, I don't have a topic in mind. So again, I just kept praying, and I got nothing. So this went on for about a month. And I remember waking up one morning in May, and I actually have it written down here in my journal from last May. And it was basically just clarity of what my book was going to be about. Well, sort of what my book was going to be about. But I wanted to just read like the journal entry from that day. So this is from May 5th, 2016. It says, I have been praying for the past couple of weeks that God revealed to me the idea for my next book. This morning, I actually had a dream that someone, not sure if it was me, was writing a book, and the topic was Why Women Don't Succeed. I woke up and didn't get a chance to figure out if there were any more details, but here I am with the topic. I'm still praying to ensure this is what God really has for me, but I do still have a few ideas. I have to admit, this is a topic that I'm not really comfortable in writing about. I don't feel like I've truly hit the level of success that I desire. And I don't feel good enough to write on success, but I also know that self-doubt is an area that I've been asking God to work within me on. And if this is the topic He has given me, I know He definitely won't just let me drown. I'm going to continue to pray for guidance and begin brainstorming on this idea. Thank you, Lord, for continually answering my prayers. So I wrote this almost a year ago on the idea. So after I woke up with this idea, of course, me being me, I run to Target, I get a new notebook, I get new ink pens, I get some paper, and I'm like, yes, I'm about to sit down, knock out this book. It wasn't like that at all. So with my book, The Blogpreneur, like I mentioned before, it was something that was in my comfort zone. I had already written content on it. I've been coaching clients for years on the topic, so it felt really natural to me. It was something that wasn't unfamiliar to me at all. So me sitting down writing that book, yes, the process wasn't easy, but the content came easy. I was able to knock out chapters like that. All I had to do was really fill in the details. But this topic felt so outside of my comfort zone. One, because I personally didn't think that I was successful enough to help women get over, you know, what's holding them back from being successful. I didn't feel like I was qualified enough to do that. I didn't feel like I had the background enough to do that. Like, I'm not a life coach. I'm a business coach. I can do business. I've done business for years, but this felt like it was on a realm of something that I had no business touching. And that just goes to show you, I guess, how you don't have to feel qualified, because if God knows that you're qualified, He's going to provide you with everything that you need to make this thing happen. In my case, this book happened. And I just kept praying about it. And a part of me kind of wanted to ignore it. A part of me, like as you can see in my journal entry, I was like, quit playing. Like, this is not for me, Lord. Like, I know, you know, I gotta keep praying on this. I know this isn't what you wanted me to do, because it felt so far out of the norm. But again, that just goes to show you how you don't have to feel qualified. The world doesn't have to see that you're qualified or feel that you're qualified. As long as God is telling you that this is what you should be doing, you shouldn't have a worry in the world, because if He's pushing you to do it, He is always going to make a way. This back and forth of me trying to sit down and force this book and being hard-headed and saying, Lord, this isn't the right time, I'm not qualified, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, has been going on since back in May when I finally got the topic idea. And He has been just literally still pushing me, and that's how I know that this book is supposed to happen, because it's not one of those ideas like many of my ideas. I get the idea and then it's just like, all right, you know, I don't get it, I'll try it again later. I have been feeling so pushed, like literally pushed. It's all that's on my mind. It's all that I can think about to write this book since I got the idea. But I still kept putting so much self-doubt behind it. I still kept relying on myself to make this book happen instead of relying on the one who gave me the idea. So finally, you know, I just said, Lord, I can't do this on my own. I need your help. And He basically just told me that this isn't going to come easy like everything else that I've created. I can't sit down and write out this book, you know, in one sitting like I wanted to. He basically just showed me that I have to be patient and that the words from this book are not going to come from me. Yes, I'm going to be adding in my own stories and affirmations and different experiences from clients and things like that. But he basically was just like, girl, I'm trying to use you. Calm down. So I've been like little by little just getting little hints and little ideas from him of how to write this book. So I said I'm not pressuring myself. I'm going to intentionally sit down to spend time on it, but I'm really going to wait till I hear from him of what he wants me to say. So I definitely do have a title. So the book is going to be called Living Over Existing, which is a title or like my mantra that I had when I first quit my full-time job years ago to take my then jewelry business full-time. So I was all like, I'm living now, I'm not existing anymore. So that's going to be fun to kind of revisit some of those stories, or, you know, back when I was selling jewelry and things like that. But Living Over Existing is definitely the title now. I don't have a launch date just yet. So like I mentioned before, I'm just really waiting to be led and, you know, waiting for him to tell me what to write and just being real intentional with it. So I'm not rushing it. I don't want to put a launch date on it just yet, just in case he's like, girl, bye. But I will say, like, the basics of the book are definitely going to be around the different aspects that hold creative women back from reaching their full success or really living their life to the fullest. So that's going to include getting over like self-doubt, getting over comparison, getting over anxiety, getting over fear definitely is going to be a huge one, and how, you know, we have to get over those things first before we can fully live our life to the fullest. And this just touches home for me so much, because not only do I see this in my clients, but even in myself. It took me so long to wrap my mind around fear just being an emotion, and not letting it hold me back. As you can see, I'm still going through, you know, not letting self-doubt hold me back and not letting comparison hold me back. And I truly feel like if you can't get through those things, or if you don't even know how to manage those things, then there is no way that you can go off and start a successful business. You can't go out and take that leap of faith. You can't go out and start that new career. So I really want to focus on those mental shifts that need to happen before we can begin to, you know, map out our success, which, you know, the book will talk about some of that as well. So with that being said, you're going to be seeing some shifts in the content that I'll be creating. I'm definitely still going to talk about business. I'm definitely still going to talk about building your brand, but I want to begin adding in some more like personal development style content as well, just to kind of fit the book and kind of get you warmed up to what the book is going to be about. I'll definitely be sharing more content as far as like what's going on behind the scenes. I'll be doing like little follow-ups and things about the book and the entire process that I've been going through. I know for sure I'll definitely be sharing my outline process with you guys pretty soon. But I really wanted to just take you through this journey with me. This is an exciting moment. I know that this is going to open up doors for me to be able to impact women on a greater scale than just helping them build their business and brand. I'm hoping that it leads to like a big book deal for my third book. I'm hoping that it leads to being asked to do different speaking engagements and being able to travel and just share my message and just share how much God has helped me through this entire process. And I'm really hoping that it does help to change your life, change, you know, different women's lives around the world. So I have big dreams behind this. So God didn't just give me this idea. He literally gave me a vision for everything that I want this book to encompass. So I'm glad to have you here with me. I'm so thankful that you're sticking this out with me. I know you're like, this girl is crazy and all over the place, but I promise, I have faith that it's all gonna work out. So I hope that you guys enjoy the ride, and I will be chatting with you later. Bye.